Hi folks, Neil here from ECS Coffee, and today we're looking at the Necta Krea bean-to-cup coffee machine. I've been in the coffee service business for about 20 years, and this machine is very cool. It's one of the first and very few machines on the market that give the office bean-to-cup for both traditional drip style coffee or French press style coffee, as well as espresso out of one machine. Made in Italy. I'm going to show you some of the different features on the machine. We've had tremendous success with this brewer because it literally can do everything. So let's start with the menu. First of all, we can customize a video for the front of the machine. This one is about our lovely stores in Burlington and Ancaster, but we can actually throw one on there for your company if you want to have a message to your staff. This machine will have one bean hopper and one ground coffee hopper. It also has a chai tea latte hopper, a French vanilla, a hot chocolate, and a milk powder in there as well. So combinations of drinks from all of those ingredients can be put together, and it actually will do, like I said, coffee and espresso, which you don't get from very many machines because they're like two different brewing methods. The way I like to say it is coffee is like a bicycle and espresso is like a motorbike. So how do they do it? Very, very cool. We'll go right to the menu here and kind of show you the different options just in coffee. And there's a couple of ways you can do it. You can kind of do the screen touchy thing, the espresso, Americano, cappuccino, cafe latte, black coffee, double espresso. You can go to your chocolate drinks, have hot chocolate, chocolate with milk, cafe mocha, vanilla cocoa, French vanilla drinks, French vanilla and with milk, cafe vanilla, vanilla cocoa, which is basically vanilla and hot chocolate. And then chai tea with milk, dirty chai, and hot water. And again, there's a couple of different ways you can look at these in the menu. All programmable that we would program for you guys before we set it up to match up to your cup size. But really, really neat in that you get freshly ground coffee for your drinks, or there's that ground option in there as well, but you can get both in one machine. So I'm going to show you the beverages to see what you can make. I'm going to start with an espresso. And it's using an espresso brewer. Let's just go here. You can press that and get a little video on the front if you like while it's brewing. It takes about a minute or so to make a beverage, and you can decide, pre-decide if you want the espresso to come from the pre-ground coffee or from the bean, and vice versa with the coffee. You can have it coming from the bean or from the ground coffee. But what you'll see is that you press the button, and within about a minute, you get a true espresso with a crema on top. And I'm going to show you the coffee. I'll show you how that's done inside, although I truly don't understand exactly what they do. And you can see we actually have a perfect espresso with crema, which is absolutely fantastic to see. And then we're going to do coffee to kind of show you guys the difference. Is that how do you get, no crema on the coffee? Because typically out of an espresso machine you can only get an Americano. But what they've done over in Italy for the North American market, you see this black coffee button here, they've created some sort of diffuser inside the machine that removes the crema. So it does take a little bit longer to make the coffee, but it does come out as a black coffee, and it's quite tasty. Has a counter here. It says 5%, 10%. Will take about a minute to do this, but what's happening is it's using the same brewer as it used for the espresso, but it's running the coffee after it's cycled through the brewer through a diffuser, which removes about 95% of the crema, so you don't have that crema on top of your coffee. So it's a little more black coffee as you would traditionally know it in North America. Best thing about that in this one machine is you only need one machine for the office that way, because right now there's a lot of people in an office that they go to Starbucks every day, or they go to a number of coffee shops every day, pick your poison I suppose, and they're getting an Americano or they're getting a cappuccino, and then somebody else will go to traditional like a Tim Hortons or a McCafe and get a drip coffee. Well, how do you get that out of one machine? And there's very few that do it. This is one of them that actually does it. And as you can see, we've got the espresso from the first beverage with the crema, and we've got black coffee with no crema out of that one machine, which is kind of cool. Like I said, no machine in the market typically will do that. I'm going to make a hot chocolate quickly, kind of show you guys what happens in there. Hot chocolate with milk. Let's try that actually. So it's going to have some of the milk powder come in as well as the hot chocolate. There's your milk powder. It's a real milk made by Parmalat, reconstituted with water. And then we're going to get some chocolate on top. And again, multiple combinations inside this machine, from getting mochaccino, so coffee with chocolate, French vanilla, chai tea as well. Number of things that you can get out of this one brewer. And we're done. Now let's have a look at the inside to kind of show you the daily stuff that you're going to have to do with this machine, because there is some maintenance. When you do open the machine, and it's got a bunch of warnings in it, so it will tell you kind of what needs done on the front of the machine if there's any errors. You want to make sure your beans are full, obviously. To fill your beans, you're going to lift this here. You're going to put your coffee beans in this slot right here. For the other hoppers, this pops out here. We've got our chocolate. We've got our ground coffee here. And if you pop over, you can kind of see the French vanilla, the milk, and the chai in here. And those need to be filled. You can do it this way through the top, or you can actually lift to this guy here and slide the whole thing out and fill it up manually by lifting the top. Like so. There you go. And then you just got to pop this back in. One of the things you got to make sure you don't forget, though, when you put it back in, is to put the spout back down. Otherwise, you're going to run into some problems. The brewer is right in here. I don't know if you can see that on the camera. But what happens after each coffee is brewed, it's going to dump the used spent grounds into this bucket here, and there is a counter on it, so it will tell you it needs to be emptied. To do that, you remove the drip tray, which will also tell you if it's full through this little sensor. You take this bucket out, and you can compost this. It's very, very green and good for the environment. Once you're done, you'll put it back in, you'll reset the counter, and off you go. And that's the basic maintenance of this machine. There's not really a lot to it. As a coffee service, whenever we put one of these in, we come by at least on a weekly basis, and we'll take care of this machine for you. But there is that work that's going to be required to be done day to day to make sure you don't run out of coffee. Overall, though, since we've had this machine since last August 2018, and we're now into April 2019, we've had tremendous success with this. In fact, it's one of the only machines I've ever put into an office where there's been just 100% satisfaction, because it covers all of the bases. If you want more information, if you have an office of about 50 or more people, this is the machine for you. Feel free to check us out at ecscoffeeservice.com, and you can always call me, Neil, and I will be more than happy to help you. Have a great day.